New York Civil Liberties Union filed a lawsuit against the New York City Police Department, forcing the disclosure of information about the NYPD's presence in schools and the impact of school policing on students because of the use of metal detectors. Our Bronx reporter Darissa White brings us the story.
Black Lives Matter protests have continued throughout the summer, which has put a spotlight on policing throughout the country. Including policing in city schools. Recently, the New York City Civil Liberties Union filed a lawsuit against the NYPD to force the department to disclose information surrounding the NYPD's presence in schools and the use of metal detectors.
This week, we sued the NYPD because they have refused to disclose what should be publicly available information about the way that they use metal detectors in New York City public schools.
Joanna Miller, a director at the NYCLU, says that the use of metal detectors in schools aren't necessary and have racial implications.
The metal detectors really have nothing to do with actually keeping kids safe, but they're actually in Black and brown neighborhoods where Black and brown kids have to be subjected to the worst kind of policing every day. But we know that without transparency, we can't even fight it.
The NYCLU says the main components of the lawsuit is to get the NYPD to comply with the Freedom of Information Act, requests that the organization filed months ago, and to adhere to local laws, such as the Student Safety Act, which states the NYPD is required to report metal detector use.
We're very skeptical of the NYPD's claims that producing a list of that information would somehow make the schools less safe.
Miller claims that 2/3 of dangerous items are not found at the metal detector, and the key to safe schools are reforming school safety practices. Reporting for BronxNet, Darissa White.
Thank you, Darissa. In other news, students, teachers, and alumni from the Bronx Design and Construction Academy held a rally against the proposed shutdown of a plumbing career training program. Our BronxNet reporter Sanji Lopez was on the scene, and she brings us the details right now.
Holding signs reading "Keep the Trades at BXDCA" and "Don't Phase My Future Out," students, alumni, and teachers from the Bronx Design and Construction Academy held a rally against the proposed shutdown of the plumbing career training program at Alfred E. Smith High School in the South Bronx.
Once this program goes, it won't come back. This school's been here since the 1920s, and they've always had trades. And the plumbing program has had a 10-year stretch of being #1 in New York State as far as Skills USA. South Bronx has a lot of hardworking people, but unfortunately, economically, the South Bronx is one of the poorest congressional districts in the entire country. So that being said, we want to make sure that the only way out of that is to give them training that they need so they can learn the trade, go out and work hard, and get paid.
In 2010, the New York City Department of Education planned to close the Career and Technical Education campus, but the plan was canceled following strong protests from the community. Thus, the Bronx Design and Construction Academy was created to save those programs, providing invaluable career training for underserved South Bronx youth.
There was a mass effort to get rid of the trades in all the boroughs around the country because they believed that the trades did not bring that much value. The college experience was the way to go.
Why are we getting rid of our trades? Why are we hurting our community? We cannot afford to take away from this community. Too much has already been taken away. We're already born into poverty. We don't need anybody else coming in here and taking our resources away.
The opportunities that I got from this school allowed me to be able to better assist my family, especially during these trying times.
Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams and Assemblymember Natalia Fernandez joined the rally, sharing their support in sustaining these programs.
I will stand with you every step of the way because we cannot lose these schools. Not everybody is cut out to be the A+ scientists out there. We are real working people that can do real jobs that are very much needed.
Coronavirus had a disproportionate impact on black and brown people. Closing a program like this, you are adding to that disproportionate impact. You prevented them from having accessibility to the gainful employment that this city needs.
I'm pretty sure that there's going to be kids in the future that are going to want to pursue this career that's going to be in the South Bronx. And if we get rid of these trades, how else are they going to do it?
Reporting for BronxNet, Sanji Lopez.
And thank you, Sanji. That's all the time we have for our Bronx updates, but we want you to stay with us because Open will continue with more coming up after this.